What it do? What it do, good people? How y'all doing? I'm smiling, man, because my sister-in-law just sent me a video of my niece and nephew. They were singing in a Christmas program. That was at 3:00 today that she texted and told us about at 2:50. So, Angel, in the event that you get back on and rewatch this, screw you, Angel. Screw it. No, I'm just playing. Totally joking. Totally joking. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Afternoon, Dr. Mimi. Hey, Avia. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, man. Listen, y'all, I know this is an odd time, very odd time, but these last few days are getting rough. Still trying to figure out how I'm finna navigate. The last 2 days because just had another wrench thrown in the monkey. Get it, monkey wrench. No, for real. I think I told y'all that I was going to be flying out Tuesday. Well, I'm flying out Monday now. Yeah, I'm flying out Monday, tomorrow now, because I don't want to risk flying out Tuesday, the day I have to speak. And they're talking about that's the day that the weather is supposed to get bad and they'll be like grounding all the flights. So because I don't want to risk that, I'm leaving tomorrow, but I'm on a late flight tomorrow. So I leave Jackson at like 5:30. And then I get to Fort Myers at like 11 p.m. So I'm in the air during that whole time. So if I do a live tomorrow, it would have to be during the day. So what I'm gonna have to do is probably skip tomorrow and like cover everything like the last day, which is looking like that's what I'm leaning towards. I think we are gonna actually finish with day 20 and 21 on Tuesday, because the program that I have to speak at, it does start at 7, but to my understanding, it's supposed to only be an hour or so. Oh, yeah, y'all. And then I wouldn't be able to do the live during that day because I have to do the MLK breakfast that morning. I have to meet with their staff members at 3, and then I have to do the MLK program that evening at 7. So yeah, it would have to be late, like late. Early morning, we're at the finish line. We sure are, Danielle. We are there. Let me go ahead and put this link in here for Dr. Mimi. And whoever else wants to jump on. Hey, Kim. Kim, church was lit today. What it do, Ace? Hey, Asia. Asia, were you at church today? Why am I tripping? There's Asia. What's up, Shannon? How you doing? Hey, Jewel. Yeah, I just dropped that link for all who desire to come up. And y'all, we at the finish line. However, I'm still ironing out details. Matter of fact, let me talk to y'all about where we're going next. So I think I told y'all, man, like God speaks to me in 3 ways. I'll pray a prayer. Either he'll speak to me through his word, which I'll open the Bible and get some kind of confirmation about what I was praying for. He'll speak to me through a dream, which that's seldom. I'm not really a dreamer, but I do have them very, very sparingly. Or he'll speak to me through other people. So I have been praying about like, what does this community look like moving forward, like post 21 days? And I knew, I was like, Jason, be real with yourself. You can't do lives every night. Like, that's over with. But I've been praying about what it looks like. And I think I got it. So y'all, what I'm thinking is I think every month we are going to have like a different Bible challenge. And that Bible challenge will correspond with different topics, maybe biblical characters, maybe certain books. And then it may be topic. Like we may focus around purpose 1 month, then around forgiveness 1 month, and then around spiritual gifts 1 month. I don't know. But I do know what we're doing in February. So I'm looking at my calendar now, and for the 15 people who are on here, y'all about to get it before the public does, because I am gonna do a photo shoot. I'm gonna really promote it. Like I'm gonna try to like grow it. So we're in this week. So we'll end on Monday or Tuesday. I'll let y'all know, maybe Wednesday. I don't know. And then we'll take the rest of this week off, and then we'll take the rest of next week off. But we're going to start a new challenge on February the 1st. February 1st, we're going to start a new challenge. And, man, like I said, man, I was praying about where to go. And, man, it came from a conversation with Greg. And he had this recommendation. I was like, bro, that's it. So in February, we're going to do a 28-day challenge. Because y'all know it's 28 days in February. And it is going to be the 28-day. I don't know how we're going to like strategically market it, but it's going to be a challenge with the gospel, with the book of Matthew. So if y'all know, Matthew is the first gospel in the Bible. As a matter of fact, it's the first book of the New Testament. The very first book of the New Testament is Matthew. And Matthew has 28 chapters. So the challenge is going to be to read one chapter a day. Just one. All you got to read is one chapter of Matthew a day until you get to the end of the 28 days. And then by the time you get to, obviously, day 28, you're going to be in Matthew chapter 28. And what we'll do is I haven't decided on lives once or twice a week, but basically we'll approach it in sections. So if we do twice a week, it'll be like, so I see February 1st is on a Saturday. So let's say our lives are on Tuesdays and Fridays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Wednesdays and Fridays. Who knows? Let's say Wednesdays and Fridays. I don't know this. I'm just throwing a day out there. So on that Wednesday, we would be going over Matthew chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. So from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we'll be going over the first 5 chapters, like discussing it, putting it in practice, finding application in it, studying the context, and then on the second live for that week, we will discuss like the next 2 books. So basically, it'll be like the book from the last live to the following, whatever the day of the live is. So yeah, it's gonna be a 28-day Matthew challenge, the Gospel of Matthew. The gospel is the good news, and the gospel. Matthew is the first book that we see the appearance of Jesus, like in human flesh. So it's gonna be fun. 28 days, 28 chapters. I might be called something like that. 28 days, 28 chapters. Something like that. The book of Matthew in 28 days. I gotta find something more creative. But that's what we're doing, y'all. Month of February. And then we'll go to and then I was already looking at the month of March, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I've been looking at this. And March has 31 days. So I was thinking about doing the book of Proverbs in the month of March, because Proverbs has 31 chapters. And Proverbs is known as the book of wisdom. So it's probably going to be Matthew, 1 chapter a day in February, Proverbs, 1 chapter a day in March, and then we'll go from there. Then we'll probably start like with topics with faith with April. So like, or we'll do maybe a few topics: relationships, forgiveness, repentance. I don't know. I'm gonna pray about it. Pray about it. What Henry say? I hear you, Lord. I hear you, Lord. Speak through the boy. Speak through the boy. I appreciate that, hearing. Appreciate it. Okay, look, I was just explaining. I didn't know the people were accepting already. I'm all in. I'm in. Oh Lord, stuff won't work. I'm in. I'm in. Add it to my calendar. I love it. 28 days, Matthew challenge. Yeah. I like it. Like that for real. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I mean, it's such a multitude of things that you can gravitate to in the Gospels. Like you got very practical things, you have stories, you have drama. We'll be looking at the first miracle that Jesus did. A lot of people don't like to talk about it, but Jesus' first miracle was becoming a bartender. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. I'm really not playing. He turned water into wine. He became what was necessary for the moment. He was at a wedding, a celebratory event, and they had run out of wine. And he turned water into wine. That was Jesus' very first miracle. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about it. Yep. I like that, hearing. Confirmation. The song I recently chose for our dance ministry at church to dance to is called, you talking about, this is the good news. If you're breathing, this for you. That empty grave, the life has slain, it all returns. Is that song you talking about, Shannon? I might be all off. That's the CCM one. I'm in. Okay. What's up, Angie? Angie, I ain't know you been in that thing. All right, come through. Pray, execute. But I know I see where you're going. Okay, yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. And I mean, I said Angie, because I'm so happy to see my sister Angela in the chat. But yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and get to it. And Dr. Mashanya Rian Coleman still ain't clicked this link because she ain't came on stage yet. I'm gonna put this link in here again. If anybody want to join, hey, we talking about the power of separation today. The power of separation. Y'all saying today, listen. I told the team after they sung God Blocked It. I said, hey, let me tell you something. Y'all been consecrating this week. Y'all got a different oil on you this week. Them Negroes sung today. Them ninjas. What's up, Katrina? So yeah, look, y'all. Matter of fact, man, I'm gonna go ahead and bring Dr. Mimi up early. I'm gonna bring her up now, and then we're gonna talk through this thing together. And I'm gonna keep this link in the chat in case anybody else want to come up. We're nearing the last days. We're in the last days. But yeah, y'all, this woman of God needs no introduction. She's full of wisdom, full of knowledge, full of poise, full of joy and compassion. I mean, all that good stuff. I gave her my best introduction last time, not knowing she was gonna come back up. Oh yeah, side note, y'all like my TikTok shop fleece? This thing is warm. It's literally like the I don't know. These drawstrings is too long for me, but hey, I just wear it around the house. But without any further ado, I want to bring up our special guest who is not a guest at all. She's a part of this community. She's really become like the mother figure of the community. Everybody just kind of gravitate to her. Everybody be asking for her. Oh, let's bring Dr. Mimi back on. I'm like, Dr. Mimi come on anytime. She just don't be wanting to oblige. But without any further ado, y'all put your hands together for Dr. Mashanya Rian Coleman. Hey, Dr. Mimi.
Hello. I don't know. There is a echo. Do you hear that?
Oh,
I have an echo. Can you hear me? Hey.
I can hear you fine.
I don't know. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, there's an echo going on. I don't know what's going on, but I hear it in the background.
Oh no, you sound fine on my end. I don't know. In the chat, y'all can tell me if y'all can hear Dr. Mimi fine. Danielle said, "Come on, hat." That is, we love Dr. Mimi. We love Dr. Mimi.
Hi,
Look,
everyone. Hi, hi.
the church really
So
did
good
put
to
their
be back.
hands together. Okay. Look, we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing, y'all. So today we are talking about the power of separation. And y'all, like, I started, if you read the devotion, I started with a story. I love stories. Like, that's just how God speaks to me. He gives me revelation, much like Jesus operated with parables. Like, he would try to reveal these heavenly revelations through earthly examples. And it's not much that I do, like in my everyday life, where I don't see some kind of sign. So I started this devotional talking about a time where I went to purchase some shoes from a shoe store. A Jordan release had happened. And I remember I got there, I asked the lady for a 10 and a half. She went in the back and she brought back out two shoes. If y'all are familiar with shoe stores, if they don't have your size, they'll do one or two things. They'll bring you out a shoe in your size that's comparable to that shoe. So if they don't have the Adidas that you asked for, they'll bring you out another Adidas in your size. Or they'll bring you out the size in that shoe that is closest to your size. So she brought out two pairs. She did that, brought out a comparable pair of Jordans. I was like, no, I asked for the 11s. I asked for that. I don't want that. But then she did have the 11s that I asked for, but she did not. She didn't have a 10 and a half. The closest size she had to that 10 and a half was a 9. And like, she asked me, she was like, so sir, the closest size we have to that 10 and a half is 9. You want to try this on and see how it fits? And I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I know I can't fit that. I'm not even going to try. Like, I don't even want to put it on. And the point I was trying to make in the book, or the conclusion that I drew in the book, was I didn't spend any time trying to figure out whether or not I was going to purchase that shoe because I knew it didn't fit. So the question I posed was, why do we continue to force ourselves into relationships that we know we've grown out of? Like, why? And I went even further in the book in saying that it doesn't mean that that relationship with that person that you're attached to is not valuable. That shoe that she brought, it was still valuable, but it just wasn't my size. So instead of me trying to force, and that's what happens when we force ourselves into relationships that we've grown out of, or it's just not our season to be connected to that relationship, much like that shoe, we'll find ourselves in severe discomfort. I mean, walking on eggshells. It's too tight. We can't have conversations that we want to have because it's not suitable for us for that season. So that was the point I was trying to bring home. The importance of separation is not just for you, it's for them. Like, because you've got to release that person or that group or that section of friends that you are not supposed to be connected to, not only so you can get in alignment with what it is that God has for you, but so they can get in alignment too. Like, God has somebody that they need to be connected to as well. So yeah, Dr. Mimi, like, any thoughts on our devotion today, or just the topic as a whole, like the power of separation?
Of course. I don't know why when you brought this up in the group chat, that just hit my spirit so strongly,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, this is really my year of separation, and really a conversation that I have been having on several occasions with individuals about why it's so important for us to separate ourselves from things. And let me make this disclosure now. I don't quote a lot of scriptures. I know scripture, but I'm not a scripture quoter, and I'm not a cliche person. But I
Right.
talk from experience and try to be as transparent as I possibly can be. But when I think about separation, and when we think about the word separation in the word, always telling us what's keeping us from God,
Yeah.
what is separating us, and it's always referred to as sin. You know, the sins in our lives separate us from God.
Yeah.
And we all know this. We're all familiar with this. We all know this. But guess what? When we think about the separation, we have to take we've been talking about this during devotion this entire time, is looking at ourselves and knowing who we are as individuals as well. So we also have to know when to separate ourselves from individuals, because if this person's not serving a purpose in my life, if this career is not serving a purpose in my life, if this thing is not serving a purpose in my life, it's time for separation. And we get so comfortable. That's a lot of problem with us. We get so comfortable. It's like sin. We get so comfortable in sin, we don't know how to separate ourselves from it. So you probably can look at some people in your life right now, some things in your life right now that you need to separate from.
Yeah.
And God has probably been just talking to you. And that discerning spirit just been, having that conversation with you. But yet again, you don't separate.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I want you to think about as a leader, and I appreciate Jason's transparency when he's having conversation with us as well. But as a leader, I always think about myself when I walk into a room. And are people drawn to me, or they're separating from me?
Mm.
What type of light do I bring into the room? What type of energy do I bring into the room? Am I bringing a separation, or am I bringing what's the word I'm looking for? Bringing people together. Am I making people separate, or am I bringing people together? Think about what you're doing in your space. When I think about my staff members, we talk about retention in higher ed all the time. Retention. What's making our students separate themselves from our institution? What's making our staff and faculty members separate themselves from this institution?
Yeah.
Why can't I retain them?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I retain a good relationship? Why can't I retain the closeness with my children? Why can't I retain the closeness with family members or friends or whatever the case? What is causing the separation?
Yeah.
What's causing that separation? And like I said, there's a season for everything. I look back at some of the people in my life right now, friends, relationships, and different. I say, God, if it's time to separate, remove me. If it's time to separate, remove me. Because so many people you've outgrown. We talk about this all the time. There's a season for everything. Everything. And if they're not in this season with you and going where you're trying to go, it's time to separate. And it's not to say something of being ugly. That's not what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's not saying I'm better than you, or you're no longer needed in my. That's not what I'm saying. And some you may have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But that separation is because of this season in your life and where you're trying to go in your life. And yes, Jason's put in, I think some of these separations hurt.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I was just about to go there.
Some of these separations hurt. I can think about a current situation. Separation hurt, but it was necessary.
Yeah.
It was necessary. I'm sorry, Jason. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was just echoing that this morning. I think one of the biggest, I won't call it a remedy, but one of the biggest elements that you can offer towards separating from things or people that it's just time for you to create some detachment between. One of the best things you can do is focus. I think when you become so focused and locked into what it is that you're supposed to be doing, locked into your goals, focused on what it is that God is calling you to, I think that this just natural, gradual separation will happen. However, like I said in the group earlier this morning, sometimes it's just a natural, gradual, progressive thing that happens, but sometimes it has to be messy.
It has to be.
it has to be a hard conversation. It has to be an argument. It has to be a falling out. Sometimes it has to be that. And I've experienced both. Where
Mm-hmm.
I've experienced where, I mean, I've almost had to come to blows and fight in order for me and somebody to separate. And then the separation did happen after that. And then I've had some times where I was just so focused on what I was doing that I looked up and 1 month passed, 3 months passed, a year had passed, and it was like, oh man, we hadn't talked. Oh, but he's over there doing well though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Mm-hmm.
it's like you become so just, I mean, overwhelmed with the level of focus to what it is that God is calling you to, then I think that it can happen gradually and naturally, but there are also times that it has to have to like very messy. So yeah, I don't know. So Dr. Mimi, have you experienced both or more of one, more of the other?
I have experienced both.
Oh yeah.
I have experienced both. But something hit me when you were talking. When we separate ourselves from being people pleasers and God pleasers.
Oh my God. Oh my
Let
God.
me say that one more time. If we can separate ourselves from trying to be people pleasers and God pleasers, that growth can happen in our lives. Because at a certain age, and I tell people now, I'm at a certain age right now, I don't have time for petty.
Oh yeah.
You know, I don't have time for some conversations. I don't even have the time and energy for. You know, when you're getting mad with me and I have no idea why you're mad with me, you know, and I'm talking about a current situation that just took place. I had a friend to get mad with me because I was in town in the state of Mississippi, but I didn't come see you. Well, I didn't have time to come see you.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you do the whole petty thing out here. And so therefore I'm saying it's time for separation.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's time for separation because where I am right now in my life, that mean is you I've outgrown that time of my time with you. And I'm in a place in my life where I don't have to explain myself to individuals either. You
Oh
know, my yay is yay and my nay is nay. So
yeah.
that's why we have to understand what the separation is really about. Asking God, okay, what is the purpose of you taking me away out of this space right now? Why do I not need to have these conversations with this individual anymore? He'll show you, he'll tell you, you know, because he'll say, it's too petty now. You've outgrown that.
And Dr. Mimi, that's really the nucleus of the issue. I think you just hit it with that. Most of the time, it's just our innate desire, sometimes innate, sometimes outward desire, just to want to please everybody. And it hit me so deep because it's me. And when I really sat here while you were talking and thought about all the relationships, whether it's in my life that have happened over the years, that separation had to happen, whether it was natural or messy, that was the core of it. I was just trying to please them, trying to get everybody to like me, everybody to be pleased with me. And it's like, yo, like that's one that's impossible. And that's not your job. And I think at its core, we're looking for a lot of our friends and a lot of our relationships to be God. We're looking
Oh yeah.
to be the source of our peace. We're
Mhm.
looking at them to be the source of our strength. We're looking at them to be the source of our compassion or whatever the case may be. We're looking for them to be God. And that's too much. Stop putting God's expectation on friends. Stop putting the expectation that you should have on God on the people who you're in relationship with. You are putting them on a pedestal that they do not have the capacity or the dignity to live up to.
Right.
Yeah.
They cannot handle that.
And
That has been our problem.
oh
You
my.
know, that has truly been our problem. And that is one thing I have learned being here where I am, you know, where there really aren't any friends here for me. There aren't any families here. It's me and God.
Oh
It's
yeah.
me and God. And with that relationship and with that time with him and with him showing up the way he has shown up with me being here, I said, okay, I get it, God. I get it, God. I don't have to please people. I just need to make sure I'm pleasing you.
Yeah.
You want to sustain everything I need because they can't. Now you'll put the right people in place to take care to give me the resources that I need or to do whatever I need to do. But
Yeah.
it's not them, it's you.
Yeah.
We have to make sure we understand it's not them, it's you.
Listen, and Katrina just hit the nail on the head. When we find ourselves in that place, that's when we'll start to lose focus on us and
Yeah.
the plans of God for our lives and the will of
Yes.
God for our lives, trying to live up to an expectation that we were never built to fulfill. We were never built to be your strong friend or the source of your strength. We may have been built to be a resource. We may have been called to give you compassion, but not be the source of compassion. To give you strength for a moment, but not be the source of your strength. And in so many of our friends, and so many people, we probably done it too, and people have done it to us. They made us, and you can imagine in my position, like I get it all the time. Like people looking to me as their source. And I'm like, you do realize, yes, there where two or three are gathered, he is there in the midst, and there is power in unity in prayer. But it's like late in the midnight hour when you were having a problem at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. Pastor Jennifer ain't gonna be accessible to you. Jason ain't gonna be accessible to you. Like God is always, he's omnipresent.
Always.
He does not sleep or slumber.
Always.
Him always. And that same God that I'm going to intercede on your behalf to, you can go to him too. He is your source.
We see. I can't get up and move as fast as Jason jump up out of chairs and come back. I can't even do all of that. But he about to make me jump here. So when I sit, and I think about, all the energy and time I've put into people. You look at all your clubs, organizations, and all the stuff you involved in. You putting your best foot forward because you want everybody to be pleased with what you are doing.
Right.
But then you flip around, and when you need something, them same people,
man. That's not even
you can't even call on them same people. You can't even, you got something going on, and them same people won't even show up and make sure what you got going on is going to be set off in the way it's supposed to be set off. That's why I'm saying you got to separate yourself from people. Stop being people pleasers. Because see, I'm guilty of it. Jason just stated he's guilty of it.
Oh, guilty.
We are all guilty of that.
It's charged.
We're all guilty of that. We gotta allow ourselves to make sure. That's why I always say my biggest fear is disappointing God. God, I'm not trying to disappoint you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need you to show me what it is you want me to do. I'm trying to please you. And again, you'll put the people in my place, in place and position for me for the resources that are needed for me to get done. But for whatever I do, I need you to be getting the glory for it. Whatever is done, I need you to be getting the glory for it, because I'm not doing for he, thee, or she. I'm not them or they. I'm not doing it for them.
Oh, so okay. So Dr. Mimi, I got a question. And I feel like, I see Ashley here. Ashley, if you out of chat with me, girl, don't hop in here. I did plan on like this live being a little bit longer, but I mean, if we ended our like 45-minute mark, it's cool. But but yeah, Ashley, if you out of chat with me, don't click that link. We want to hear from you too. But
I got a 5 o'clock meeting, so I'm good. I got a 5 o'clock, so go ahead.
Okay, all right. So look, Dr. Mimi, I did want to ask you this, like, and for some of the people in the chat, when do you know, like, what are some of the signs that we can look for to know that, it's time to separate from this relationship? What are some of the things that we can start noticing? Like, when do we know that, okay, I need to create some distance in this right here?
Jason, as people of God, that discernment's so strong. And when you have to start questioning relationships, that automatically, those are signs for me right there. Those are signs for me right there. There will be things that are, that are said in your presence that trigger you. There will be actions made that trigger you, that'll make you think twice. Like, okay, why did they say that? Or why did they do that? You know, they say we're not to take pride in things, but I pride myself on loyalty. And if I'm committed to you in friendship, relationship of any kind, I'm going to be loyal within that. But then you start seeing individuals in your life that loyalty is not even there anymore.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
start slacking off. They may not return your phone call the same day. It might be a week later. They may not return your text the same day. It may be Jason.
That's probably me.
It may be 2 months later, but there are signs. And we have to be conscious of the signs. That's, when I say discernment is something, I thank God for it. Lord God, I thank you for it. Something just recently happened to me at work. And I had a meeting. We had a cabinet meeting, and I said, and I thank God for my discernment, like I said. When I went into that cabinet meeting and we were asked to go around the table, blah, 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 blah. I said, I'm going to tell you all one thing. I thank God for discernment. I thank God for showing me who I need to disconnect to in my community. It's something we're talking about, connection and disconnect right now.
Yeah.
Who I need to disconnect in my community, and who I can trust and who I cannot trust. Because he has shown me stuff in that circle.
Yeah.
In, just dealing with my colleagues.
Yeah.
Because you go in wide-eyed, bushy tail, excited to be a part of the team, and you got to start feeling people out, and then you start asking God, show me.
Yeah.
You need to show me who I can trust, who I can't trust. And it's important that we know that, because we get caught up. We get caught up. So it's the same way with friendships. My mom used to tell my old high school classmates all the time, why Shania don't come down here and hang out with us? And Shania has outgrown you all. My mom would tell them, what for?
Make it plain, mama.
Mama, like, what for? Mom, Shania don't have that kind of time. Shania is not in the same, you all are still in the same era. She's not in the same era.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to recognize that, because some people don't get up, some people don't leave the community. Some people are still there, and it's okay to go back and visit, but you can't go there and stay.
Yeah, but look.
No, you can't go back. You have to separate yourself.
Listen,
in a positive manner. Let me say that too. In a positive manner.
I'm going to bring up one more person. Listen, when we put this topic in the chat this morning, this particular person, I'm always looking for somebody to come up here. This particular person, almost immediately, she said, "This is my topic."
She sure did.
I got to hear what she got to say. She says it in the chat to me. I'm trying to see which organization, but we're gonna find out. Hey, y'all give it up for Ashley.
Look, I want to know which organization too. She has on blue. Is it?
Unmute yourself.
Unmute Ashley.
My bad, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
We good. We good. Look, first and foremost, which organization?
I am a Sigma Gamma Rho.
S0? Okay.
S0, okay.
I am.
S0. Jason.
Okay, yeah. We love us S0.
Yep.
Hold on, wait. What shop you in?
Tau Sigma.
You know Dr. Melissa McCoy?
I do.
Yeah, that's my girl. Dr. McCoy, that's our girl.
Oh, yeah, that's
I love her.
That's my girl.
I love her.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah,
we love Dr. McCoy.
So look, Ashley, I got to get into it. This morning, I put this topic in the chat, and you was the first one to be like, "Oh, this is my topic."
Yes.
So look, I'm just giving you like free reign. Like, so when you saw that topic, the power of separation, saw the devotional, like, what were some of the things that came to your mind?
I was in a relationship for probably 3 years, but we've known each other since we were 15.
Oh, wow.
Mm,
And so I had to pray. It got very bad. And I had to pray for God to disconnect me from that, separate me from that.
mm,
Yeah.
And at one point, I didn't listen, of course, still the wavering, because I never thought we've been friends. We've known each other, our families are close,
mm,
but it didn't go down like that. And then at one point, it's so crazy. I really separated myself, but New Year's Day, I FaceTime, hey, Happy New Year's, da da da, all that, I guess, for whatever reason. And after that, he blocked me. And
Oh,
I said, I would usually be upset, but I was like, okay, God, I see you.
yeah. Hey, look, you
And
look.
that's what I asked for. I guess he said, this is what you had wanted.
yeah. Yeah.
And so
It's
then, but I also saw at the end of December, I had already started separating myself. And he started blessing me with things that I hadn't even asked for. I thought
Mm,
about it, but I hadn't asked for.
mhm,
You
mm,
know, I tell people, my mom used to say, he's going to put your names in people's mouths or your name in places.
mhm,
And when I got the call about adjuncting other positions, I had never thought about it. The people got on the phone and said, this person gave me your name
mhm,
wow,
and
wow.
said you were the person that I need to call.
mhm,
And
mhm.
listen, bro, listen, Ashley, we were just talking about that, how that's one of the primary reasons why separation is so important.
Mm-hmm.
Because as long as you are holding on to something, your hands aren't free for you to
Elevate.
receive whatever it is the next thing that God has for you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you're holding on, and you just talked about it, as soon as you start to wrap your mind around, okay, it's time to separate, let me go ahead and start preparing and
Mm-hmm.
praying myself out of this, like almost immediately, when your hands became available to receive,
Mhm.
start putting it in it.
Yes.
Definitely. The minute I said I'm done, it was like 3 days later, I got the phone call.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, okay. It's always that. But I didn't, because he knew then, of course, that I would mess it up, that I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Yeah,
And that person needed to be out of the mix because he can't go where I'm going.
yeah.
Jason, I feel a Mike
Listen,
Jr. coming
listen,
on.
some
Wait.
listen, and sometimes that is it. The
Yeah.
picture that just came to my mind. Another reason why it's so important to separate is because every elevator has a weight limit capacity,
Ooh,
because it's only so high it can go with so many
ooh.
pounds. So the higher you go, the more you got to shed some weight off. You got to shed some people off. And even though shedding may be painful, it may have come in a way that you
Yeah.
didn't anticipate. With them just cold blocking you, you saw that the elevation started to transpire when you began to shed. So, oh Lord, listen.
Because you have to think about that weight. When
Mm-hmm.
you are constantly carrying on that weight, you can't even move like you need to move
And it
in
felt
order
like a
to
weight was
elevate.
lifted off. It
Yeah.
felt like I could breathe. I was like,
Well, exactly. Exactly. So you
I was
can't
like, I
even
see
move
you.
like you need to move with that weight, honey. God, it's like I can't even take you where you need to go because you're too busy. You got all this baggage right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way.
That baggage. We got to get rid of some of that stuff in
Yeah,
order for us to keep it moving.
Even with friendships, I see it wasn't the same. And
Yeah,
it was kind of like, okay, I'm cool on you. Let me
yeah.
just keep moving and keep doing what I need to do for me.
Oh
And
yeah,
there
yeah.
are things I want to accomplish and places I want to go. But I know only I can do that by leaving some things, like you said, some weight and some things behind. You can't go with me on this journey.
Mm-mm.
And then I
Mm-mm.
had to set boundaries. I was the queen of no
Oh,
boundaries.
come on.
that boundaries.
I was the queen of no boundaries.
No
I
boundaries.
was no boundaries. I was people pleasing and I was a yes sir. And when
Okay.
I tell you that all that wore me out.
And that was another thing I had to learn as
Oh,
of 2024
oh
into
my God.
20 going into 2025,
Jesus
those
Christ.
boundaries. We have to set healthy boundaries. I'm speaking to everybody that's listening to the sound of my voice right now. If you have not started setting healthy boundaries in order to separate yourselves from individual who's adding baggage to your life,
This
start today.
Listen, this
God
is how I
baggage. You
this
gotta go places you can't go because your baggage is too heavy.
this is how I know these conversations are God ordained, because each and every time that God always, I know God is speaking through individuals when He always brings my mind back to a scriptural picture.
Mhm.
And when Ashley just said, once I separated, I had to set boundaries. In other words,
Mhm.
separating was step one, setting boundaries was step two. It took my mind straight to the book of Genesis with Abraham and Isaac. Abraham, God tells Abraham, I want you to go on top of this mountain and sacrifice your son. Literally, Abraham, the Bible says that he had servants with him. He had some of his watchmen with him who were taming the horses. But the first thing he did, God gave him the instruction to go up on the mountain only with Isaac. So the first thing Abraham did was he had to separate from the people who he had been doing life with and only take the person that God told him to take with him. Once he separated, the next thing he did was he told the men, no, you can't come. I and the lad are only going. So he separated first,
Yep.
then he set the boundaries next to say, okay, y'all can stay at this level, but y'all can't come to this next with us. So literally that seems to be God's process, even in that story. Separate, and then you give them a boundary. Like, okay, now I'm going to remove myself from this situation, but now I have to add parameters by which we govern ourselves moving forward. I love that, Ashley.
That's good. That's real good, Ashley. That's real good.
And you know, the crazy thing about it is, I lost my mom in 17. I'm an only child, so I moved here from Georgia to be her full caretaker. So being a caretaker, having a son, taking care of her, it was a lot. But you know, and getting into therapy and things of that nature, I realized that I had to set boundaries, and I think sometimes parents don't understand. You have to set boundaries for your own children.
Oh yes, guys.
Oh, well, I ain't got no
Girl,
boundaries.
you're not there yet. You're not there yet.
Y'all
But
go
I
ahead.
realized that
Go
I
ahead.
realized that I had to set boundaries with him.
Oh yeah,
And of course, he didn't like it, but he's getting on board with it. But I realized that was some weight as well.
of
Just
course.
certain things. And so when I started again, boundaries and separating, putting in a little bit, I started seeing more of what I've asked for, even things I asked for a long, long time ago that he knew I wasn't ready for or I wasn't gonna do right with, that he's blessing me with now. And
Exactly.
that's only because I prayed, I fasted, I asked, and I'm doing what he's asked of me.
I love it.
Bruh.
I love it. I love it. Thank you for
And I
your
was quick this morning,
transparency.
wasn't I? The minute that thing
I
posted,
mean,
I
I
was
mean,
like,
You should be.
"Do-do-do-do-do-do."
this
You
how
should
you know
be.
something resonate with somebody's spirit.
You should be.
I want y'all to see this. Look, and y'all, these folks in chat feeling y'all now. Danielle said, oh yeah, wait. Okay, here we go. I'm forgetting those things which are behind me. I'm moving forward. Missy said, boundaries are necessary. Got to speak it into existence. Tiffany said, preach, Ashley, preach.
Preach it. Preach it. But it's also true. What she's saying is just also true. And like I stated earlier, in our messages, recognizing what we need to separate ourselves from, as we talk about it in the Bible, is always about sin. Separating ourselves from sin that keeps us from God. So now you have to think about what people are keeping you from God, what places are keeping you from God, what things are keeping you from God. Then you have to think what people are keeping you from your next destination in life. Those career goals or whatever you got going on in your life. What's keeping you, from building the relationships that you're trying to build? What's keeping you? What do you need to separate yourself from in order for you to keep moving forward, in order for you to keep what you need with God? All of this, it sounds like a lot, you all, but I promise you, once you get everything in alignment, if I can't say this any clearer, once you get everything in alignment, it's just like smooth flowing. It's just like,
And I know Dr. Mimi got a meeting at 5, and I'm ask Ashley and Dr. Mimi like this last question. Ashley,
okay, go ahead.
I got to ask you first. What do you say to the person? Because when you create that separation, when what happened at the beginning of the year happened to you, we got to be honest.
Mhm.
That is not an easy pill to swallow,
Mhm.
especially when you have a lot of history with somebody. So certain times when we create that separation, it's not the easiest to move on past it. Like when we create that separation or when that separation happens, like I want to ask y'all, how did you navigate that process forward? Like, was it cold turkey? Did you struggle some nights? Did you like spin the block again and you had to go and like see, was it something there again? Like, I want you to like really be honest with folks because I don't want people to think that separation is just easy. And when we do it, it's bye-bye for life. No, I can speak on my behalf. It's a struggle. And you gotta stay in God's face and stay committed to what it is that you committed to. Like, so I want to hear from y'all. Like, what was that process for you when the separation happened? Like, how did you navigate it? Like, was it difficult? Is it still difficult? Just kind of talk to us about that.
For me, it's still difficult, personally, from the separation that I'm dealing with. So, but I had once I had to go cold turkey. I had to deny all access because if I did not deny all access and go cold turkey, then I was going to allow this individual to think that it was okay for you to continue to treat me the way you were treating me and doing the things that you were doing. I was giving you permission to be like, oh, okay, I can keep doing this then. She's still going to respond or she's still going to do that.
Yeah.
So I had to ask God and still daily, I'm still saying, God, give me the strength that I need, give me what I need so I can still what? Deny access, keep that separation going because I can't allow, oh God, let me use the word value real quick here. We have to know our value.
Got to.
We have to understand our value. Jason spoke yesterday about knowing who we are in God, how much God value us. We have a royal priesthood. We talked about the purple. Purple is my favorite color. Anybody knows that? Know me knows purple is my favorite color because it's a royalty. Okay. I'm a descendant of Christ. And he doesn't want anything but greatness for me. And once we realize that he wants nothing but greatness for us, I the trash that's coming my way is not for me. Because God ain't gonna give me no junk. I had to understand my value. So I had to deny access, had to stop cold turkey to recognize because if you don't see my value, I do.
Right.
I
Right.
see my value.
Yeah.
I know who I am. I know whose I am, and I know who I am.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't
That's
expect
yeah. It ain't no way around it. Not when it comes to me today. It ain't
yeah.
no way around that. I know whose I am, and I know who I am, and I know my value. I know I'm his child, and he don't play about me.
That's the
My
tagline.
God don't play about me.
God don't play
I am
by me.
serious. He's shown it to me over and over and over and over again. He don't play about me. And so why am I going to allow you to play about me? Access denied.
Oh, denied. Look, Ashley, what about you?
So how did I deal with it? It was hard. I mean, of course, what they say, I spun the block back
Yeah,
because we have history, right?
exactly.
We have history.
This the transparency I'll be looking for. Because
We have history. So his mom passed, and of course, in his usual fashion, he showed himself. And okay, kind of let it go. But then I spun the block back again.
yeah,
You know, But dealing with it, it was hard. Like I changed
Mhm.
my number, so I was like, okay, you don't have access to me,
Mhm. Mhm.
but you'll video me through FaceTime. I mean through Facebook.
Wow.
Mhm.
So it's
Mhm.
still that connection, right?
Right.
And so when New Year's when it came, it was just like it was over. I didn't feel a type of way. Now I feel bad because it was my friend first, but sometimes you have to let all that go, and I have to. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's definitely hard because our families are still close, still close. But I just know for me, I have to separate myself from him and his family
Oh yeah,
because I don't want to get back in that. Right now, I'm not strong enough to be like, oh yeah, I can go to family functions and he show up. No, I can't do all that.
Yeah.
I
access
just I
denied.
know me right, right. And so now there is no access. So
Mhm.
now it's me moving forward. But now it's not easy
Mm-mm.
because and we're being transparent, right, Jason?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So at times you lose yourself in a relationship.
Yes, you do.
You
Yes, you
lose
do,
yourself in
Ashley.
a relationship
Yes, you
Oh
do.
yeah.
Yep.
because you're used to compromising or whatever it is in that relationship.
That's
You're
correct.
forming to fit what that person wants.
Exactly.
And so at that
Mhm.
point, I lost myself.
Exactly.
But then I started thinking, oh no, you ma'am. Number one, our motto is greater service, greater progress. I'm greater. I'm not finna do that.
Mhm.
And
Mm.
then God created me to be greater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speak
And
it,
so
Ashley.
therefore, since I'm walking into who I am and who he has made me to be, you can't go.
Oh
That's
yeah.
right.
But now I'm gonna cry about it, and God knows I'm gonna cry. He know I'm gonna ask why. He know we gonna do all this.
All of that.
But I'm not gonna ask for him to come back.
Yep.
So
Mm-mm.
now it's on to greater things and to doing what I need for me. And Dr. Mimi said it. The word is value, but also the word is respect.
Amen.
I respect myself more
Mm-hmm.
to be by myself and to grow into who I am and who I'm supposed to be
Mm.
than to allow someone to keep me where I am, if not take me back down a horrible rabbit hole.
Mm.
So it's not an easy thing, but I will say this right here, Jason, has done it for me
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
because it's created in me a habit
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Like I walk.
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is the topic for today? Okay,
That's
let me
right.
go find it. Let me go to the word while I'm sitting in my office. Let me go in here. Let me try to get my mind ready. And I
Yeah.
Mhm.
say, okay. And I'd be like, okay, all right, they getting on. I can't wait to hear what they say. And
That's
what
right.
I say, I'm gonna get on one day before it's over.
Look, I've been waiting on it. I've been waiting because I
I,
was
I said,
literally
I said, I'm just waiting on my time. And then this popped up. I was like, Yahtzee, bingo, I got
There
action.
it is.
you said it on about day 8, 9, somewhere in there, 10, and I just been waiting. But you look,
But I knew, and I was like, oh yeah. I was like, it's always been. My mom always says, your stories are not for you.
They're not.
oh yeah,
It's to help other people.
That's it. I
listen,
And
tell
so
people
with
that all
that,
the
that's
time.
my goal. My goal is to help others. And if I can, what you say, bring somebody along the
Mhm.
way.
Yes.
If I
yeah,
can help somebody,
Along the
that's
way.
my goal.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, just for me, this has helped me tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
oh
I
yeah,
agree with you, Ashley. I agree. I definitely have appreciated this platform so much.
Mm-hmm.
Poured into my life, listening to others and listening to Jason and just a devotion alone. So I know I greatly appreciate it. And with that note, I have to go, Jason. I have
oh yeah.
nothing but love for
Look,
everybody. I
look,
appreciate this time, but you all know who you know your worth, know your value. Separate those who don't respect your worth and respect your value, and learn how to deny access. Set those boundaries. You
listen,
know,
I'm gonna let both of y'all go. Y'all done gave us a lot, man. Look, we got to chew on this a little bit, let it digest, sit on it. So look, Dr. Mimi, Ashley, thank y'all so.
Thank you.
oh,
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mimi. I have learned a lot from you.
Oh, honey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thank you for joining us today. I really enjoyed you today. I did. Yeah.
All right.
5 o'clock, Dr. Mimi, get on your
I
meeting.
got to get off. Yeah, I'm so sorry, y'all. Love you all much. Enjoy the
All
rest of the
right.
day. Okay. All right. Bye.
Jason, are you done with me?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ashley. I sure appreciate it. And thank you. I know you was at chapter meeting. You ran over here.
Look, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was hoping we stayed on long enough for you to get in here.
Me too. Look, me too. I was praying. I was like, Lord, if I can get at least 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, look, I'm telling you, this was good. And your transparency, like, and letting people know that, look, bro, it ain't easy. I done spent the block. I'm still struggling with it now. I had to change number. That's the stuff that people need to hear. Like, so look, thank you so much.
You know, Jason, I've had my Georgia number for 20 something years.
Look.
And I just changed it. When I tell you, number one, I cried over it. Because I was like, now I gotta tell people. But then I realized some people don't need to have the new number and knew everything that I have going on. So this right here, I was just like, if I just get 10 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
I know I would be able to help someone or give somebody some light to be like, it's okay, it's gonna be tough, but you're gonna make it through to that other side.
Oh yeah. You're gonna make it. Listen, y'all, and I am more than sure that you ain't the only one that's in this space, that's even in this chat right now. That somebody in this chat, like, that is watching right now, is either in the midst of it or right out of it, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate it, or they're trying to figure out how that separation needs to happen. And I mean, so many times I think we beat ourselves up because we don't get this level of transparency. It's like, oh, well, she just separated and she just changed her number. And then she was good. But they need to hear the part about, no. It's hard for me to go to funerals. Family functions. It's hard for me to not answer the social media calls. Like, that is still hard for me. So listen, like, that right there is, I think, what edified people more than so much that we've discussed tonight.
Good stuff. Well, I'm happy I made it on, and thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. I see you over on the other side in the chat.
All right.
Listen, y'all, hey, let me tell you, these ladies are preaching today. If you're on this stream and you have not subscribed to the channel, like the stream, hey, y'all go over there and like the streams. Click over on YouTube, like it. And yeah, man, listen, I'm blessed. I don't know if y'all are blessed, but I am blessed. These ladies have given another level of vulnerability. And it's not easy. It's not easy to allow people or let people into your space. Let them into the most personal parts of you. But I'm so appreciative for their willingness, so appreciative for the gravity in their stories and their willingness to share it. So, man, this was up. Avia, I'm looking for you. I don't know if you'll make it before day 21 is over, because I don't even know if I'm making it. But I need to see you on there. And who that was that? Misty. If Misty's still on here, Misty, I need to see you. I don't know if y'all got this book suggestion from Misty. She said, I suggest the book Boundaries, When to Say Yes and How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend. I'm familiar with John Townsend. And she did say it's a Christian-based resource. So y'all take advantage of these resources, man. Y'all take full advantage of them. Take full advantage of this community. And yeah, it's. I wasn't taking in the chat today. This how much I. Drake said I wasn't texting in the chat. That's how much I enjoyed it. But listen, y'all. For those of you who were not on the stream earlier, I was telling them that God answered a prayer. I have been praying on how to move forward with this community because I know I can't commit to a lot every night. However, God once again answered my prayer through a friend that y'all have met. Y'all know, through Greg. Me and him talked this past weekend. We were going through a text together, and he gave me an amazing idea that I think would be really good. So We are going to finish up this week. I'll give y'all details on how we'll finish the last day because my travel schedule is like a little crazy the next few days. But we are going to finish this week. We're going to take the rest of this week off, take next week off, but we're going to get back started with another challenge next Saturday. It's going to be February 1st. We're not going live on Saturday, but we're starting a challenge February 1st through February 28th called the Good News Challenge. The Good News Challenge. That challenge name came from Henry Goss, my ace, who is also in the community, also in the chat. I'm going to give him credit the first 2 times, but then I'm going to act like I made it up after that one. No, for real, I'm just playing. But we're going to start what's called the Good News Challenge on February the 1st, and it's going to go through February the 28th. And basically, we're going through the entire book of Matthew. The book of Matthew has 28 chapters. So the goal is for you to read 1 chapter a day. And then we're going to go live either once or twice a week. And we're going to discuss like the chapters from that segment. So, yeah, the Good News Challenge starting February 1st. I'm going to start promoting it and all that good stuff. I'm going to do video content. Y'all might see me add more people to the group me. I may need to find like a more robust way to add folks. So if y'all know like a platform or something where you can communicate with or where it's like a discussion board or something like that, because I know group me can get annoying for some folks, especially people like me who are in about 27 groups in group me and got probably like 20 of them muted. So I don't want people to become so overwhelmed that they muted, that they miss the information, that they get detached and they aren't plugged in, because I do think that this community, this movement is a good thing. So yeah, y'all be in prayer. We'll start there February 1st, but let's end this 21 days. I'll let y'all know we're going to finish day 20 and 21 together. But tomorrow is What About the Miracle, followed by Habit Sharpening. So listen, beautiful people, never forget it. Pray, plan, execute. I love each and every one of you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. My outro getting cold. I'll holler at y'all.